were the roadblocks that were erected during the Sabasaba demonstrations and the curfew constitutional or unconstitutional? Of course, I saw the president commenting and challenging Justice Mugambi regarding his decision that those roadblocks were unconstitutional. And so this has made me revisit that issue on why the judge reached that decision. And of course, he looked at Article 23, 37, and 39. And these are the articles that guided his decision that those roadblocks were unconstitutional. There was a procedure that needed to be followed before such a major decision is reached. And the context of this is that the Constitution of Kenya provides an avenue for its citizens or its people to protest against unjust laws. The protests were about economic justice, which is also outlined, I think, in Article 46 of our Constitution. When the people are not experiencing economic justice, the human rights are violated, there are extrajudicial killings, there is that doorway or that avenue provided by our Constitution for the people to express themselves before the government and say, we are not happy. You are not listening to us. You are not following the Constitution. There is something you are doing wrong. But unfortunately, those physical roadblocks that were put by the security apparatus are symbolic of economic and social cultural roadblocks that the government has put against the people of Kenya. And this is where my concern is, that it's not just about those physical walls, physical blockades that were put. It's about also the economic and other socio-spiritual roadblocks that the current government has put. And so the roadblocks were not only unconstitutional, those physical ones, even the ones I'm mentioning, the socio-economic, cultural roadblocks are also unconstitutional, because the people of Kenya have a right to express their opinions regarding the state of affairs or how the government is being run. After all, the government ought to be for the people and taking care of the interests of the people. So what happens when the government is not doing that? What do the people do? They are then given that avenue to protest, to picket, as long as it is done within the confines of law. And I've explained before and said, if these 500,000 or 1 million or however many youths were out there to destroy property, Nairobi would be flat down. They would have leveled the whole Nairobi down. So we should not allow the issue of violence to take precedence to the highlighted issues of high taxes, extrajudicial killings, service delivery. These are the things they are protesting for. So the comments I'm hearing are regarding the destruction of property, and we want to put it that the young people are out there to destroy property, which is actually a hijacking of the narrative. The narrative should be the young people have come out there, and what they're asking for, we need to respond to that. So instead of responding with a strong arm of law, there should have been other means of responding to these people, to these young people, saying, we hear you, and what can we do to rectify our mistake? But how the president came across was, one, also, it felt unconstitutional on my part, because he was actually challenging the decision of the Justice Mugambi. And there ought to be independence between the executive and the judiciary. So It's not a matter of whether he has security or a driver or police that protect him. It's a matter of him following the Constitution regarding this matter that was presented to him. So he's in his constitutional mandate. After all, this is why we've given him the job to decide on our behalf regarding matters pertaining to the Constitution. And his decision was right because, number one, Article 23, Article 37, Article 39. And I would want you to have a look at it so that you tell me whether his decisions, according to you, please comment below, were within the 2010 Constitution. So these are my thoughts, and I'm wondering regarding our nation that what do we do to remove the other roadblocks that are there, because we don't seem to be reaching the government, and the government ought to be listening to us as the citizens of the nation. Thank you very much for paying attention. I would want to hear your comments below. Bye-bye. Thank you. Simon Karaoke coming to you from Australia.